Mira Business FM.
Welcome back to Mira Business FM. This is DayBreak with me, Inzamam Rashid. A very warm afternoon to you. It's a pleasure to be with you this afternoon here on Mira Business FM, streaming live across our website, mirabusiness.fm, and of course, across all the social channels as well, particularly on YouTube. If you are there, please do hit the subscribe button and make sure that you catch up on all the content that we have for you across Mira Business FM. You can, of course, catch up as well across the socials on X, Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn too. And if you want to get involved in the conversation today, then please just drop us an email, info@mira.fm, or you can drop us a message on WhatsApp. And what I would do is just store the number in your phone under Mira Business FM, and then you can send in all your questions and comments and all that kind of stuff to Tim Elliott and the Morning Drive team, and to here with me on DayBreak as well. Just pop this number in your phone, +971 522 789 567, or if it's easy, just go to the website whatsapp.mira.fm, and right there you will get straight to the messaging platform to send us messages as well. Now, today, my next guest is someone who I think is probably fair to say isn't just predicting the future of technology, but she's actually helping to build it. Fay Arjomandi is the founder and CEO of Mimik. It's a pioneering company that's changing how artificial intelligence and computing power are distributed across the world. She is noted as a serial entrepreneur, a patent holder, a member of the Forbes Technology Council, and also, I've been told, a passionate advocate for women in STEM. Basically, if it's cutting edge, Fay's probably already been there and built a company around it. She's in Abu Dhabi this week for Abu Dhabi Autonomous Week 2025 and joins us on the line from there. Fay, it's a pleasure to have you on Mira Business FM.
Thank you. Likewise. Thanks for having me.
No, and I'm loving the look as well. So tell us, you're in Abu Dhabi right now at the Autonomous Week?
Yes, I'm here and it's buzzing. It's great to be in this region. They're moving with the speed of Agentics and shaping the world. So it's great to be part of it and actually help bringing the future and make it available today in this region.
Yeah, I mean, that's a skill to have, isn't it? Not only to predict the future with your glass ball, but also bring the future forward, essentially. So thank you for all the work that you do in that field. Just tell us a bit about Abu Dhabi Autonomous Week. It started today. What's it been like on the ground there so far in the few hours that you've been there?
What I see here is that the government has the mission to really not only bring true autonomy to the market, but actually help shaping it. They are here not to be on the passenger seat, but leading it. And they are welcoming all the entrepreneurs from around the world to come and put their innovation and what they have created into practice. So they are referring to it as creating a sandbox for agentics and AI, but I consider it as a sand beach because when it comes to AI and agentics, we really need to think outside the box and outside the domain of vertical apps to horizontal systems that can mimic human behavior by discovering each other, interacting with each other, and collaborating in order to create systems that advance and move forward and help our lives, whether it's enterprise or individual.
We just lost you slightly there, Fay, but I think we've got you back, and we got the kind of idea of what you were saying there in particular. I want to get an understanding from yourself, and particularly from a Mimik point of view, what really excites you about being at Abu Dhabi Autonomous Week this week?
What excites me is to see the alignments and the way that we see the world, and Abu Dhabi is seeing the world in terms of the next generation of systems. You see, what we're going through right now in terms of AI is exactly the way that we moved from web world to mobile application. The first generation of mobile applications was about let's grab a big browser, shrink them, and put them on the phone. But very quickly, people realized that that's not enough. We required a new form of compute, a new form of software architecture in order to bring new systems to mobile. And that created mobile application, mobile
Mm,
native application. This is exactly where we are with AI. We are at that place where people are taking those big systems, now mobile application, wrapping it around AI and trying to kind of ping an LLM in cloud. But the true autonomy, the true value of the AI is in physical. Prompt is not about me sitting behind the computer and prompting an LLM. It's an event in the physical world that prompts into agentic native systems. And agents are these single capability agents that can now reside on device
mm,
where the real context is and data sources, and based on a prompt from from the physical world, now start processing the data based on context, decide where the other agent is, look for the other agents in order to create collaboration with other agents across the continuum compute in order to derive to an outcome. So mission accomplished that
sure.
way. So you can't put the agents into box and vertical anymore. It's about horizontal systems, and it starts from device first with offline first and collaboration across the continuum
Yeah.
and so on.
Absolutely, and that's why I'll come on to kind of Edge Cloud and the stuff that you guys do at Mimic shortly. But I guess that's the real benefits of something like Abu Dhabi Autonomous Week, whereby these great minds are all coming together from all over the world. You're having these conversations. Yes, obviously there is huge competition out there, but also it's bringing these people together to elaborate your own, ideas and thoughts and actually moving things forward. And as you said right at the very beginning, bringing the future to this day and age. From a business perspective as well, how important is a week like this? Because I'm sure there'll be a lot of deals being made, a lot of MOUs being signed throughout the week as well. From a business perspective of someone who's in this industry and has been for some time now, how important is an event like this to get business done? Especially in this field where, there's still a lot of questions around kind of getting business done.
Absolutely. It's very important because you get to have meaningful conversations and you get to show the solutions. Like right now, we have a booth at the Autonomous Week. We're actually showcasing physical AI in action. They're heterogeneous systems, drone, robots from different companies can discover and interact with each other even without internet and cloud. Describing something like that in a theory is very difficult. But when you bring it and make it visible, then new questions gets raised and understanding gets elevated across. And that leads to business and signing MOUs and intentions and all that. And we showcase that capability even without any cloud or internet connectivity. We see right now how difficult bandwidth is between you and I communicating. Now imagine that millions of autonomous cars or autonomous entities want to interact with each other through an intermediary cloud point versus the device first itself is a cloud element. So when you come to an event and you're capable of showing these solutions in a physical world, not just TV rendering images of how fast the computer operates, but actually showing it, then the light bulb goes on that,
Mm,
oh, okay, I can put this in mining, I can put this in air, sea, and the land, where systems can interact with each other with sovereignty in execution. You see, people are talking about sovereignty as let me put everything in a data center.
Yeah.
But when we talk naturally, we decide that what is confidential and what can I disclose. So that's a sovereignty in execution, which happens between the devices. And those are the things that Mimic is actually enabling. At the end of the day, Mimic is about, again, mimicking human behavior, systems that mimic human behavior in a very natural way.
Let's talk a bit about kind of edge cloud and the agentic AI economy as well. For our listeners who might not be deeply technical, Fay, how would you explain edge cloud and also why it's central to the agentic AI economy?
Actually, so it's a very good question. In fact, we're not an edge cloud company. And I do not necessarily believe in the way that the industry considers or defines edge cloud.
Okay, interesting.
We are the inventor of a hybrid edge cloud, but then the market hijacked the edge by saying, let's come and buy gateways. The word is not about come and buy gateways. The phone that you carry in your pocket. In fact, we were talking to a factory, and the CEO of a factory said the most capable camera is the phone in the pocket of my employee. These devices has a lot more compute. Drone has a lot of compute. Car has a lot of compute in it. That's why we're saying it's about device first continuum AI. Why? Because Agentic's native system have a different requirement. Agents need to be able to run where the data source is and where the context is. Today in the cloud world, you have to send a lot of data to cloud for somebody to assume what the context of this conversation is. I'm talking to you in the context of being in autonomous event, seeing what's happening, and then communicating that with you directly. Cloud, I have to describe the entire scenery to some intermediary, and that intermediary shape it, and then somebody else make a conclusion from it. Versus acting on real data, acting on that real-time context, and now making a decision. I have an AI model on my device. I also may need an AI model that I need to discover it via another provider that is happened to be on another drone or on another car. So this is about continuum, but it starts with the endpoint device itself. So you provide the capability of API first, microservice first, and apply it to Agentic's native, where they can run across any compute with or without cloud.
So picking up
So
on
in a
that,
sense,
picking up on the idea of that
yes.
end product, Faye, how do you see, particularly what you guys do at Mimic, intersecting with the rise of autonomous systems from vehicles to smart infrastructure, particularly here in the UAE? How does that work?
Absolutely. So autonomy is about interoperability, is about self-awareness, situational awareness, which comes based on the context, and the context in real time happens in on device, because that's where the source is, that's where the situation. So we're giving the system self-awareness and situational awareness. We're practically an enabler. We provide full stack architecture. We provide a collection of digital services, libraries, and SDKs for others to now be able to develop Agentic's native system that now agents across different entities can discover and collaborate with each other in order to complete a mission. And at any time, a car need to communicate with a traffic light, need to communicate with a camera. A robot that is in the factory, if it's autonomous entity, when the robot lifts the cradle and block its vision, the camera at the corner of the factory need to be able to communicate with the robot and say, "Hey, there is a danger on the at the corner," just like human. how human operate. I mean, think about yourself in a day. At any moment, you have self-awareness, situational awareness, and you communicate and interact with different team members in a different way based on the context of the task. And that's how Mimic fits into that autonomy. We bring interoperability across heterogeneous systems, whether it's inside the car, because car has many compute, and now with Mimic, you can provide and run agent on top of that compute, and that agent can move between the compute regardless of their underlying operating system, connectivity, hardware, and network.
And so,
And at the same time,
Faye, sorry to interrupt you there, but I was just on that point. You know, you kind of said that Mimic is kind of redefining how computational intelligence is distributed. What does that kind of mean, though, in practical terms? You know, for businesses, for consumers, and also for how we use our devices. You picking up your phone, you know, a lot and saying that it's the most kind of important product that we have. But what is it that you guys are doing, which then, in practical terms, will actually be beneficial for consumers and businesses?
So, absolutely good question. So imagine right now, every time for consumer, imagine right now, every time I want to check something and I have to prompt an LLM, I need connectivity to the cloud in order to and receive the response. And I believe right now our LLM on my compute, I can work on my phone without any problem, and even when I'm offline. But now, over time, as I'm using that LLM, it can learn more about me and maintain my privacy. And if I need for the global LLM to now learn something beyond what it knows, I can authorize it to send that information. Or let's take into consideration your smart home in your home. You have camera, you have a doorbell, you have now an intruder that passing by the camera. The camera can immediately inform the IoT inside your home to now lock the doors, and immediately from the camera inform the law enforcement. So that's like a consumer setting, or the camera can inform the other cameras in the neighborhood that I'm suspecting an intruder, now follow the intruder while the law enforcement arrive and stream that over to the law enforcement. So things happens locally, again, just like you first call your API in your head on whether you can do this and pick up the phone and call someone. In the context of enterprise, imagine you have a drone delivery of the package.
Yeah.
A drone is delivering a package from point A to point B, but its camera now detects a fire hazard underneath of the surface that is flying over. What does a human do? They pick up the phone and call 911. So now a drone, although its task was to deliver the package, it
Right.
has the capability to call the firefighters. It has the capability to raise an alarm for the neighborhood.
Right.
So interoperability become the true autonomy, and that's what the fit is in this sector. Elon Musk recently said,
Please go, Faye. What did Elon say? He said a lot of things, but
Elon Musk very recently said, I have 100 million cars in the market. They all running their own powerful inference execution engine, right? But then in that case, that's a locked system. But with Mimic, we're saying decouple that agentic and inference from the underlying compute, which means that we empower businesses to actually own their own data, own their own knowledge, because knowledge as a service is the next big economy. SaaS is dead.
yeah.
CaaS as a knowledge as a service is the next big economy. And enterprises governments and end users need to treat that knowledge from themselves, from the enterprise, from the national point of view, as a treasure. That's what the economy is going to run on. And that's what Mimic, at the end of the day, empowering everyone to actually participate in this knowledge as a service economy.
Fay, we've only got a few minutes left, but it's for me, and I can see clearly from you and the passion that you have, it's incredibly exciting. It's a really exciting time that we're going into. And obviously it's very exciting within the field that you work in. What's the kind of feedback conversations that you've had from kind of everyday people who this will kind of impact day in, day out? Maybe not, next year, but in the years to come. Is there excitement amongst kind of businesses and consumers as well, or do you feel like still the message hasn't yet got across to people about the transformative changes that could actually happen with AI?
Yeah. So very good question. Privacy, whether it's privacy of individual or privacy of enterprise or nation. Offline first. I don't have connectivity. My systems need to stop working. We saw cloud went down for a few minutes and the entire world, a lot of businesses got impacted.
Yeah.
Now imagine in the world where AI runs our lives, and then cloud goes down. Everything, the entire world is going to go down with it? No. Offline first. Sovereignty, which means that just like a corporate, that they have different confidentiality level, at any point in execution, when a transaction happens between two entities, the systems need to adhere to the sovereignty at the time. And what I see, if you don't have legacy, like if you fell behind the internet and mobile internet, you moving faster with Agentic's native systems and Agentic's native economy. That's why this region is moving it's moving much faster than other regions that actually were ahead in the mobile internet. If you're an enterprise that you haven't adopted the last mobile internet or you have less legacy, you can move faster with Agentic's native. And I have one key message for everybody. Forget about mobile application. Forget about cloud-first architecture. This is a different world. Forget about SaaS business models. This is a different world. You need to start from Agentic's native model and knowledge as a service economy, and start from scratch versus trying to band-aid the old systems. And this is what we see excitements by enterprises, that they say offline first, privacy first, sovereignty in execution, and autonomous collaborative system, regardless of who is providing me the hardware, the compute, the drone, the robots, And that's the value, because now if your entire business run by software, you want to decouple your agentic business logic from the underlying OS, network, hardware, and
Absolutely.
compute, because you may decide to choose another hardware vendor
Absolutely.
tomorrow. You may decide to choose another LLM and AI provider tomorrow. You can't build all your business. I often tell people, do we lock people to the space that they work in? No, that's called prison. People move between spaces and people move between businesses. Agents need to operate exactly in that fashion.
And be agile, for sure. Just literally, we've only got kind of 90 seconds with you. I just want to talk about you yourself. You founded multiple tech companies. You hold more than a dozen patents as well. You are an absolute force in this industry, and you continue to be so. I'd love to get an understanding from you what kind of advice you would give to young entrepreneurs or engineers here in the UAE in particular who want to innovate in deep tech but kind of may feel that the field is probably dominated by large global players.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, by the way, another big pain point is cloud cost because people are now losing their shares in the cloud cost, and that's why again device first continuum is such a key thing. As for the entrepreneurs, I think entrepreneurs were about disrupting, but over the past 10, 15 years, entrepreneurship changed to what VC is investing in. So venture capital kind of turned the entrepreneurship into the franchise copy paste. So my message to entrepreneurs is forget about that. We're back to grit. We're back to working out of your garage. Disrupt. This is the word. We have never faced such a transformation in our lives. People compare this to the invention of a steam engine. I say this is much bigger than that. Everything is transforming, and don't let those big brands intimidate you.
Yeah.
Actually, those are not, I mean, the world right now is getting very noisy over AI model and compute. But the true value is in execution and inference engine. LLMs are important. I use them every day, but they're just one piece of the puzzle. And LLMs are both your companion and competitors. We see how the LLM providers overnight from you, and it applies the learning into competing with you.
Yeah.
That's why privacy and sovereignty is so important. So have the grit, disrupt, and don't get intimidated. This market is massive. It's in trillions of dollars. Knowledge as a service economy is trillions of dollars. Follow the device first, Agentic's native systems with knowledge as a service economy.
I think at least $1 trillion of that is in your head there, Fay, as well. Thank you so much for your time. It's been a real privilege speaking to you. Thank you for speaking to us on Mira Business FM. Just before I let you go, our technical producer here, Faraj, is in awe of the outfit that you've got on there. It looks like a beautiful design. I was wondering if you could just give us an idea of where that's from. It looks stunning.
So you're going to be surprised,
Here we go.
I think, by knowing that I bought this in Mumbai.
Nice.
From a Bollywood item kind of a store. And this is actually the gown that men wear in weddings.
Oh, so it's a sherwani. You've got a sherwani on, is that right?
And yes. And the jewelry is a line of jewelry that actually I bought myself because it's called Gandolfi, and they are so big because I wanted to actually do a 3D printing of connectivity in them. I don't believe that I have to wear a watch to make it wearable. I believe everything that we wear need to become a connected wearable. So that's what it's all about.
I love that. I love when we have a cool CEO.
It's about being you. You know, it's about being you. The world is trying to confine us to a certain uniform, all black, or all this, all that. To me, it's about variety. It's about being you and embracing your own knowledge and collaborating and welcoming others to it.
Fay, I love that. It's very cool when we have a very cool CEO on the show here on Mira Business FM. Thank you for your time. Fay Arjomandi, the founder and CEO of Mimik. She is down at Abu Dhabi Autonomous Week all this week. I'm sure you'll be able to spot her in a wonderful sherwani and beautiful jewelry there. Fay, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
This is Mira Business FM. You are listening to DayBreak with me, Inzamam Rashid. Keep it with us. We'll have plenty more conversations for you on the way.
Mira Business FM.